12th, 125.
12th February.
Yeah, no, January, ma'am. Annual exam?
Yeah, Razan, the annual exam.
Oh, the annual exam, I think it will start from 23rd. I'm not very sure about it, ma'am.
Okay, and what's the syllabus for that?
Syllabus, we didn't much get, but exponents and algebra will be there. Algebraic expressions.
Okay, just give me a minute. 1 minute, Razan. Okay, Razan. So now we have already completed revising the lesson exponents and powers, right? So now we'll start with the new lesson, which is algebra. Okay, and algebra, I guess you were not there while we were doing algebra. So Razan, please pay some extra attention to the chapter because Harmain and Mana already knows the chapter. So you need to be a little more attentive in the class.
Ma'am, I also know the chapter. I learned in 6th also.
Okay, you know the chapter. That's very good, Razan. So we'll just quickly start with it. 1 second. Okay, so tell me, what do you know about algebra, Razan?
1 minute.
Razan, shall we begin? Yes, Razan, shall we begin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the lesson, algebraic expressions, what we have first of all, you need to understand what do you understand by an algebraic expression and terms of an expression. See, so what we have, for example, you have an expression 4x square minus 3xy. So Razan, you see this is an algebraic expressions, right? This is an algebraic expression. You see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now in this algebraic expression, you have two terms. And what are those two terms? This is the first term and this is the
Four.
second term. Okay. So what are the
Yes, ma'am.
two terms in in this algebraic expression? This is an expression. I'll just write it. Okay. One of the term is 4x square and the other term is minus 3x square. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 1 second, Razan. Just give me 1 minute. Yes. So these are the terms, right? You have this is first term, this is the second term. Now, see Razan, you see that 4x square is composed of three different factors. What are those factors? You have 4, then you must multiply 4 with x and again with x, right? Okay, students, do you hear me?
Ma'am.
Students, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please just give me 1 minute. Actually, I've just got some network issue. I'm just rejoining with my device and then I'll share my screen. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, students, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, so Manha, please look here. We have started with revising the lesson algebraic expression, and here I have written an expression which is 4x square minus 3xy, right? So in this algebraic expression, I've got two terms. What are those terms? I have 4x square and I have minus 3xy. So if you look at 4x square is composed of three numbers, which is 4, x and x. So 4, x and x, these are basically the factors, right? And what about minus 3xy? What is minus 3xy composed of?
Terms.
Terms.
Who will tell me minus 3xy?
Term, terms.
Yeah, but minus 3xy is composed of what factors?
Minus 3 x and y.
Minus 3x and y. Yeah. Doesn't you understand how?
Yes,
When you
ma'am.
multiply minus 3, x and y, that is when you will get the term minus 3xy. So these are the factors. I hope this much is clear to you. So in an algebraic expression, we have two things. You need to understand the terms, and the terms are composed of factors. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we have now next question. Look here. You have to tell me the terms and the factors in this question. Um, 4p square q minus 3pq square plus 5. Okay. So both of you first attempt this question. You have 2 minutes. Quickly attempt this question and then tell me the answer. Razan, put on your camera.
Then, ma'am.
Done. Razan, what about you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me the answer. First, Razan, tell me what's the answer for that?
4 p 2 and 2 square is term
Okay, so there are three terms. How many terms?
3.
Three terms. Okay, first term Razan will tell, second term Manha will tell. What is the first term, Razan?
4 p and 2 q.
It's 4p square
Oh,
cube.
4 p square.
Yeah. Manha, now what is the next term?
Minus 3 PQ square.
Very good. And what is the third term, Razan?
Plus positive 5.
So these are three terms of this expression. Now if I talk about the factors of these terms, what are the factors of 4p square cube? Manha, tell me. What are the factors of this?
4 P, again P and Q.
Okay, so it has 4, P, and Q. Okay, now Razan, tell me for this term.
Minus 3 p q and p.
Minus 3, P, Q, and
Q
Q
p.
again. Okay, because this is Q square. That means 3 into P into Q into Q. Okay, that's what you have. Now 5, the factor is 5 itself only. So these are the factors of the given terms. Do you understand this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I hope that you both know the meaning of terms and factors. If I ever
Yes, ma'am.
ask you a question that tell me the term and the factors, then you can tell me the answer. Right now I'll tell you
Yes.
another term which is coefficient. Now what is the meaning of coefficient?
The number
Yes, the number. But what number is it?
in the equation.
Okay, but like I have this equation. 4p square q minus 3. I'll consider this only.
4 is
4p
the equation.
square minus 2pq plus 5. Okay. So over here, see, coefficient is basically for a particular variable. What you have is, you have two things. You have constants and you have variables. Now, what is the meaning of variable? All the letters in an equation are known as variables. For example, pq square. This is one variable. Pq is also variable. So what is the coefficient? Coefficient is the number that is attached to the variable. So you see over here, what is attached to pq square? 4. What is attached to pq? Minus 2, right? So 4 and minus 2 are basically the coefficients. Do you understand? Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
question where you have to identify the coefficients. Identify the coefficients. You have 4x minus 3y. Okay. So Razan, tell me, what are the coefficients in 4x minus 3y?
4 and 3.
4 and minus 3.
Oh, minus.
Okay. Now Manha, tell me for a plus b plus 5.
1.
1 and 1. For a also it is 1. For b also it is 1. Okay. You always write the coefficients like the coefficient of x is 4, coefficient of y is minus 3. Coefficient of a is 1, b is 1. Like this is how you write. Now next thing what we have is, okay, so now what you have to do, you have to tell me, like I will write some expressions. Okay, now you need to understand one more thing, that what is the meaning of a constant and a variable. Constant terms and variable terms. Okay, for example, you have this equation 4pq square minus 2pq plus 5. Okay, now if you look at this equation very carefully, it has three terms: 4pq square minus 2pq and 5. If you look at these three terms individually, so among these, this term has letters in it. This also has letters in it. But does this third term has any letter in it?
No.
No, it does not have any letter. So the terms that do not have any letter are known as constant terms. Understood? So if I ask you, tell me the constant term, can you tell me what is the constant term? For example, I'll give, say, xy plus 4. What is the constant term?
4.
4 is the constant. Okay, and which term is not constant?
XY.
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 xy is not constant. Okay, so this is first. Second, tell me the term which is not constant. Tell me the answer.
Y square.
Y
Minus
square.
y square. Minus y square. Okay, then 13 minus y plus 5y. Which terms are not constant?
Y.
Y is not a term, first of all, Manha.
13. 13.
What's my question? I'm asking you which terms are not constant.
Y square.
It's minus y and 5y square. See, it has three terms. What are those three terms? 13 minus y and plus 5y square. So 13 I know is a constant term, minus y is not constant, and plus 5y square is also not constant. Okay, so which are the not constant terms? Minus y and plus 5y square. Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now tell me this one, 4p square q minus 3pq square plus 5. Tell me the terms which are not constant. Tell me the answer.
Minus 3pq square.
And
4P square
4p
Q.
square.
okay, so I'll just write down all the terms which are not constant. Okay, so over here xy is not constant, minus y square. Over here I have minus y and 5y square, and over here I have 4p square q and minus 3pq square. Right, these are my answers, the terms which are not constant. Now my question is that tell me the coefficient of the non-constant terms. That means you have to tell me the coefficients of the terms which are not constant. So what is the coefficient of xy?
4.
1. Very good. The coefficient is 1. What is the coefficient of minus y square?
Y
Minus
minus
y.
y.
What is the coefficient?
1.
Minus 1, not 1. You include the sign also. Minus 1. What is the coefficient of minus y?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. What is the coefficient of 5y square?
5.
5. Razan, why are you not answering? Razan, now tell me for these two. What are the coefficients of 4p square cube?
1.
Why 1?
No. Q.
What is my question, Razan? What is my question?
What are the coefficients of 4p square cube?
Yeah, so what is the meaning of coefficient first of all? I explained you what is
4.
the meaning of coefficient. 4?
4.
Yeah, so why are you saying Q? Q is never the coefficient 4. What is the coefficient of minus 3pq square, Razan?
Minus 3.
Yes, now is the concept clear to both of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now I'll give you few more examples. You have to tell me that what are the coefficients of x in the following. Okay, so first is 4x minus 3y. Second is 8 minus x plus y square x minus y, and 2z minus 5x z. You have to tell me only the coefficient of x right? The question is coefficient of x. So will tell me for the first one, what is the coefficient of x?
4.
Very good. So coefficient of x is 4. Second,
1.
Eight.
-1.
-1. Very good. Next,
Um,
1.
y square.
very good. It's y. See, coefficient means the thing that is attached to the digit that we are asked. For example, here we are asked that what is the coefficient of x. So you look at x, you leave x, and you look at all the other things that are present with x. So we have y square. So the coefficient will be y square. Okay. Now what is the coefficient of next one? X is
5.
written over here.
5.
Is it just 5?
5z.
5
No,
z.
still wrong.
Minus 5 z.
-5z.
Very good. -5. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, yeah, there can be some questions like and unlike terms. What is the meaning of like terms and unlike terms? So, okay, like terms you have the numbers with the same variable are known as like terms. So I can define terms with similar variable. Okay, for example, I have 5x and 2x. What is the variable in 5x and 2x? X, here also it is x. So these are like terms. Okay, what are these? These are like terms. Now tell me one thing. If I talk about 5x and 2y, are these like terms?
No,
Why no?
because the
Why not?
variables are different.
Yeah, because the variables are different. Okay, so these are not like terms. No. So I'll give you one question where you have to group the like and unlike terms. You have to group the like terms together. 12x, 12 minus 25x minus 25 minus 25y 1x 12y and y. So these are some of the terms that I've written on the board. You have to just tell me which of the following are like terms. Okay, you have to group the following into like and like terms. Do you understand the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just do this.
Then
Done. Very good. So what are the like terms? Tell me. First of
um,
all, I have 12x. So what all terms are similar to 12x?
minus
12y.
25x,
Who said 12y?
minus,
Why
minus
12?
25x,
Yes. First of all, 12x. The term similar to 12x is 20 minus
minus
25x.
25x.
So I'll make this one column minus 25x. Okay, next
Then again x.
x. Any more like term?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. So now I'll come to the second factor, second term. So I have 12. So what are the terms similar to 12?
Y.
Why y? See, Razan, like means the number having the same letter. See, in 12x you have the letter x. So you have to tell me all the numbers that have the letter x. If I look at 12, 12 does not have any letter. So tell me all the numbers that does not have any letter. Okay, for
minus
example, minus 25 does
25
not have any letter. So
and
minus
1.
25 is like
1.
1 does not have any. Okay, 1. Now let Razan tell me the next. Razan, tell me what are the like terms to minus 25y?
12y and y.
Very good. Do you understand the concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 12y and y. So these are the group of like terms. This is group 1, group 2 and group 3. Understood the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I'll explain you the meaning of what is a monomial, binomial and a trinomial. Okay, so what is a monomial? Monomial are expressions having only one term. Okay, for example, I write 5x. So what is 5x? 5x has just one term. So 5x is a monomial expression. Okay, I write 2x square y. How many terms are there in 2x square y? How many terms are there?
1.
One term. So it is also monomial. So all the expressions having only one term are referred to as monomial. If I talk about binomial expressions,
There should
these
be
are
2
going to have
terms.
two terms. Okay. For example, I say 4xy plus 3z. So how many terms are there over here? Two. One
2.
term, two terms. So there are two terms, so that is why it is a binomial. So all the expressions that have two terms are referred to as binomial. Now I
And
come to
trinomial means it should
trinomial
have
have
3 terms.
three terms. Very good. Three terms. So for example, I say 4x square y plus 5x plus 6y. This is a example of trinomial expression. Understood?
Yes,
Clear
ma'am.
with this much? Okay, now
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is the meaning of polynomial? Who will tell me?
Minus
Which has
terms.
4 terms.
No, more than
Which
three
has
terms.
4.
No, it has more than three terms. It can have four terms, five terms, six terms, seven terms, any number of terms, just more than three. Okay, polynomial is more than three terms. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, for example, you have, I'll give you questions. Okay, now I'll give you certain questions. You have to make factor tree diagram. Okay, tree diagram. For example, for x minus 3, you have to make. I'll tell you
Need
one
to
question. Or let's take x minus 3 has how many terms? First of all, this is an expression. So you write down, it is
now
an expression. Now you write down terms.
then we do x plus 3, right?
No, x and minus 3, not
Oh,
plus
okay.
3 doesn't. So these are the terms. Now what is the factor? X has only one factor which is x, minus 3 has only one factor which is minus 3. So these are factors. So you have to make, this is a factor tree, right? So can you make such factor trees?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So make factor trees for 5xy square plus 7x square y, and next you make for minus ab plus 2b square minus 3a square. Razan you make for second and Manha you make for third. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, are we supposed to put those letters in one side and the numbers in the other side?
On which side you wish to put letters? No, you make a factor tree together. Like this is one term, 5xy square. This is the second term, 7xy square, 7x square y.
Ma'am, we will make a tree diagram.
Yeah, you need to make a tree diagram. What do you not understand? I explain me your question, Razan.
Like how to do it?
Okay, do you understand this type of diagram?
Yes, ma'am.
You just have to copy like this only. See, first you write the factors here. You write what is the term number 1 you write, term number 2 you write. Then what are the factors of this term? What are the factors of this term? Like this you write.
Done,
Okay,
Okay?
ma'am.
Just do it like this.
done, ma'am.
Let Razan do, then we'll.
And the terms in this is XY, right, ma'am?
No, Razan, you don't understand the question. Look here, I'll explain you. What are the terms? Do you see, Razan? This is an expression. What are the terms in this expression? Tell me.
XY?
No, terms, I told you. The meaning of term is the individual whole thing. Like you have one whole term is this, the other term is this. So terms are 5xy square and 7x square y. Okay, these are the terms.
Okay, ma'am.
Understood? Now, what are the
Yes, ma'am.
factors of these terms? 5xy square is composed of 5x, y, and y. Now, 7x square y is composed of 7x,
Okay, ma'am.
x, and y. Okay, do you understand it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Manha, tell me your answer.
Yes, ma'am. The terms are minus AB. There are three terms. So minus AB, 2B square, and minus 3A square.
Second.
Then the factors are minus A, then B, and for the factors of 2B square are 2B and again a B. And
Okay,
for the minus 3A square are minus 3A and again a 3. I mean A.
very good. Now, do you understand both of you? Razan, do you understand it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just do one more question. You have y minus y cube. Okay, both of you do this. Razan, you have to tell me the answer for this. So do it carefully.
Ma'am, is it minus or minus Y?
What do you look here, Razan? What do you see here?
Minus Y?
Do you see a minus sign before y?
Yes.
Where is the minus sign before y, Razan?
Not that, ma'am. Second one.
So is that y or y cube?
No,
Tell
ma'am.
me,
I'm asking, is it subtraction or is it the sign of the Y3?
it is the sign of y cube.
Then, ma'am.
Okay, tell me the solution, Razan.
Y and Y3 and Y and YY. Minus
Uh,
Y1.
what are the terms, first of all?
Y and Y3 are the terms.
What is Y3, Razan? Is it anything named as Y3 over here? What is
Y,
Y3? It is Y cube. I told you before also, Y
okay,
cube.
Y3.
Okay, now tell me so do you understand the terms are Y and Y cube? Tell me the factors.
Y and minus Y cube.
The factors I'm talking about. Here the factor is Y only. What are the factors over here?
Minus Y and 3.
No. How do you get Y cube, Razan? What numbers do you have to multiply to get Y cube? Okay, how do you get like 2 cube? What is the meaning of 2? I told you, we've studied the lesson exponents and powers, Razan. What do you understand by cube? What is the meaning if the power is 3?
We have to multiply 3 times.
3 times. So here also the power is 3. So what do you understand by this power 3?
Minus Y
You must be multiplying
into
minus y, and y. Simple. Exponents and powers you need to revise, Razan. The chapter is weak. Okay. We come to the next question. Identify non-constant terms. And write their coefficients. Okay. So, like first you have 5 minus 3t square minus p square q square plus 7pq, and third is 1 plus t square plus t cube. Okay, you understand the question? You have to identify the non-constant terms. That means the terms that are not constant, and then you have to write their coefficient.
Ma'am, the non-constant terms means without the numbers and letters.
I told you there are two types of terms: constant terms and non-constant terms. So constant terms are basically the numbers. For example, I told you this. See, we studied. Like, what are the non-constant terms over here? Xy was non-constant. Over here, minus y square was not constant. Here, minus y and 5y square. That means see, like 4 is constant, xy is not constant, right? So do this question. This is a similar question.
Can you
What happened?
nothing, ma'am.
Then
Okay, so shall we discuss?
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Reason, what about you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me the answer for the first one.
for the
Well, tell me the
first
first
one
answer.
is
Y,
for the first
Y
one is
is
3.
What is the non-constant term first of all?
3t square.
No, not 3t square. It's minus
No,
3t square.
minus
Oh,
3t
minus
square.
Okay, and what is the coefficient?
5.
Uh,
What is the
3
coefficient?
minus 3.
Minus 3. Very good. Manha, good. Next, doesn't tell me.
Minus pq q q q
Minus
plus.
pq is not any term.
Oh, I don't understand like this question.
Okay. Razan, see, I explained you that what is the meaning of constant and non-constant terms. Do you understand constant and non-constant terms?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so tell me, is there any constant term in second question?
Yes, ma'am.
What is
7.
the No, 7 is not a constant term. 7 is associated. This is one term,
Oh,
this
it's
is
a.
second term. Okay. How many
Yes, ma'am.
terms are there? There are two terms.
2
Minus p
times.
square q square and 7pq. So both of these are non-constant terms. Okay. So minus p square q square and 7pq. Both of these are non-constant terms. Why? Because both of them has letters with them. Now what is the coefficient of p square q square?
7.
Is 7 written with p square q square, Razan?
Oh, no.
Razan, think
Please.
carefully, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the number written with p square q square?
2.
No, 2 is their power. What is like, see, with pq you have a number which is 7. So 7 is the coefficient. What is the number with p square q square?
Minus p.
Minus 1. Okay, Marha, tell me the third one.
Third one is 1,
Wait,
1 and 1.
1, 1 and 1. Okay, good. Now, Razan will explain me. Razan, tell me, explain me the third. What are the non-constant terms, first of all?
Constant. 1 minute.
Razan, you tell me, first of all, that what are the total terms?
Terms 4.
Yeah. What are, can you name them?
1
Yes.
q.
Where
No.
is q written in the third
t.
question?
t
Yes.
plus tq.
It's square and
T square plus tq.
t cube. Okay. Now tell me what are non-constant terms over here?
Non-constant terms are t square and tq.
Is t not constant?
T.
T is constant or not constant? T
It
is a
is
letter or a
constant.
number.
Letter.
Letter, so it is not constant. See, you have, Razan, you need to look very carefully. What you have? Let's suppose you have xy square, 7xy square plus 4z plus 5. So how many terms are there in this question? You have three terms. 1, 2, and 3. Razan, don't write anything. Please look
Small.
on the screen. Don't write anything. Yes. Now tell me how many terms are there in this question? Three terms. Very good. Now amongst these three terms, like in 7x square y 7xy square, I have a combination of letter and number, right? I have 7,
Small.
which is a number. I have x and y square, which are letters. Again, I have 4z. These are also combination of letters and numbers. I have 5. 5 is only number. So when I have only a single number, only number, this is a constant term. Okay.
Okay, my.
But when I have an association of a number and a letter, so that is not constant. So what are not constant over here? 7xy square is not
7xy
constant.
square and 4z.
These are not constant. Okay. Now talking
Yes, ma'am.
about what is the meaning of coefficient. So I have 7xy square and 4z. These are not constant. Do you understand this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me that in 7xy square. I have two things. I have a number and I have a letter. So what is the number over here? 7 is the number and xy square is the letter. Over here 4 is the number, z is the letter. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now what is the meaning of coefficient? Coefficient mean, for example, I say what is the coefficient of the not constant term? The coefficient is basically the number that is written. So what is the number in 7x square 7xy square?
1,
Is 1 a number, Razan? Look carefully. I just now told you.
7
Where do you
is
see
my
1 in 7xy square?